At FreeWheel, we're really at the epicenter of video across all screens, trying to help marketers and publishers and programmers connect and find audiences at scale. I think there's a lot of fractured audience viewing. Even as consumers, we're watching on any screen, shifting screens even mid-programming, and having opportunities for advertisers to connect with those consumers, but also making that transaction really, really easy for everybody, reducing friction as much as possible is something that's core to FreeWheel. At Comcast overall, obviously we're trying to service a bigger ecosystem as well, both programmers as well as consumers, and trying to create great services for the consumers, accessing content however they want on all the screens that they want, and then creating good monetary situations for programmers to reach those consumers, helping them continue to invest in programming. And obviously as Comcast, we are also, NBC is also part of it, so some great success there with some programming and cross-screen efforts, and the recently announced Peacock.
Great. So you were saying before that your group is really focused on helping identify, I guess, a lot of different pockets of inventory and aggregating them into a scale buy. Talk a little bit more about how that works in your group.
Yeah, it's exciting because ultimately people are trying to reach audiences at scale, and there's not enough time in the day to work with 500 partners, which is pretty close to the real number of how many people you would have to access. So we try to offer that service both to the people that own the inventory, the programmers or content developers, as well as the buying community, so that they can do so efficiently. And some of that's using technology and software, and some of that is using people and managed service, where appropriate. I think one of the exciting things in the space is just how much consumers are shifting in real time, yet there's still a lot of viewership in traditional TV, and ultimately being able to deliver campaigns or guarantee audience delivery across any screen, wherever the audience is, and applying data, creating value for all sides. Those are really the things that are fun and exciting, because there's a lot of really good things going on despite all of the fear that's out there. Consumers are consuming content, and video content specifically, at record number of hours per day. So it's a really great place to be.
Yeah. Well, given that kind of fragmentation and the diversity of sources and the diversity of video that they're consuming, how should marketers be changing the way they're thinking about, what's a quote unquote premium or quality opportunity versus what in the old world what might be dismissed as, remnant or long tail or something?
Yeah, it's interesting, right? The beauty's in the eye of the beholder, right? So when you talk about supply, for example, in linear supply, we work a lot with the MVPDs to aggregate up their local inventory. Now, typically you go talk to a national advertiser and they're like, no, I don't want local, I don't want to be in local. Yet really when we talk about the most advanced part of our business right now, which is household addressable, where the premiums are 8, 10, 15x the rate, people are jumping in to buy that same local inventory, proudly declaring that they're using household addressable and that local inventory. So it went from ick, ew, I don't want to be next to that, to wow, this is really powerful inventory when you can understand you're reaching the consumer you're desiring to reach, and be able to measure outcomes and capabilities therefore. So it's really exciting to be part of that ecosystem and watch that evolution. We talk about national versus local, but ultimately most people are local and they make decisions locally. So it's really impactful to be able to get your message to the right people that are going to align with your products and services, whether it's in market or if you truly do have a product or service that's not location based, you still know you're reaching the right people. So it's a really compelling offering and really high quality, valuable inventory.
Right. I mean, part of the knock against local has also always been it just takes more time to go, reach out to 10, 20, 30 local markets and aggregate that inventory. And so it's better to go with a national buy because it's easier. But it sounds like between the technology and between your team, you're really taking a lot of that out, correct?
Yeah, we're doing a great job at making it easy to reach the audiences you want in traditional TV. And a lot of times we'll talk to a marketer and say, you know what, go buy the top 5 or 10 networks that really make sense for your plan. But there's a lot of audience out there beyond that. Let us handle the rest because we can create that efficiency for you. Gone are the reality of 8 to 10 hour days of doing make goods or audience deficiency units, let us handle that all for you. Our service and our technology allows us to do that efficiently, all with next day reporting. So it's not like you have to wait a month to figure out what happened. We're constantly optimizing the campaigns and doing so with ease and true transparency about where your ads are running and how they're delivering.
Great. So it sounds like a very different world. And the panel we were on talked about the fast-changing marketplace for advanced TV. So sounds like there's some big changes happening. What do you see in the next 12 to 24 months?
Yeah, so I'm really excited about partnering across the industry in terms of data. We heard from a lot of the partners today. We work with the Vizio team, the Inscape team as well. We obviously have Comcast viewership data. And so really trying to expand what that offering is and find real scale for these audiences, again, really easily. To me, that's critical to our success. Understanding and unlocking some of these cool, interesting anecdotes of consumer behavior and really becoming the voice of here's what's possible when you have great data and great insights and access to all this premium supply, you really can connect the dots and make an impact.